Anyone can be called a dad, but father, that's different. That's earned. Dad is a title given. Father is a title proven. Being a dad begins the day a child is born. Being a father begins the day a man decides to be responsible for more than himself. One is a biological reality. The other is a spiritual responsibility. A dad might provide, but a father prepares. A dad might show up, but a father leads. A dad enjoys the moment, but a father invests in the mission. We've blurred those two words until they sound the same, but they aren't. One is about affection. The other is about authority with humility. See, the world loves dads because they're safe, funny, easygoing, hands-off. But fathers carry weight. They correct, they protect, they set standards that hold people accountable. And that's why culture celebrates dads but avoids father. Because fathers remind the world that structure still matters, that love without leadership eventually becomes chaos. Every man has to decide which name he's building his life around. The one that's comfortable or the one that costs something. Somewhere along the line, our culture decided it was enough for men to be just dads. We turned fatherhood into a caricature. The lovable goof, the background helper, the guy who means well, but needs someone else to fix his mistakes. And the world laughed. But the laughter cost us something. Because when you make men laughable, you make them forgettable. You can see it everywhere. In commercials, sitcoms, even social media. Dad's the one spilling the juice, burning the dinner, losing the kid at the store. Always present, rarely respected. Now, don't get me wrong, humor has its place. There's something beautiful about a man who doesn't take himself too seriously. But there's a difference between humility and humiliation. When you strip a man of honor long enough, he starts to believe he doesn't have any. And when you turn fatherhood into a punchline, you teach a generation to laugh at the very thing that protects them. That's what this culture has done. It's made dad adorable and made father unnecessary. But the truth is, our kids don't need another playmate. They need a guide. They need a man who knows when to laugh and when to lead. A man who's not afraid to be the steady hand when the world around them shakes. Because love without leadership feels nice for a while, but eventually it leaves everyone lost. A father carries weight that can't be seen, and most of the time won't be thanked for it. It's the weight of being the one who stays calm when everyone else panics, the one who absorbs pressure so his family doesn't have to, the one who walks through storms first so those behind him have a path to follow. That's what separates a father from a dad: weight and willingness. A father doesn't just protect his home, he stabilizes it. He's the hinge the door swings on. If he's crooked, the whole frame shifts. A father leads with presence, not position. He earns respect through consistency, not control. He corrects because he loves, not because he needs to be right. And that kind of man, he's rare. Not because men can't be that way, but because too many have been told it isn't necessary anymore. The world says, lighten up. Don't be so serious. But a father knows that the strength he carries isn't for his ego. It's for his children's safety. You see, a dad might hold his child, but a father holds the standard. And that standard is what gives a family its shape, its sense of right and wrong, of when to speak and when to stay silent, of what love looks like when it's tested. The weight of a father isn't a burden, it's an honor. It means God trusted you enough to carry something eternal. You don't become a father the day your child is born. You become one the day you decide to stay. When you choose to show up again after failing, when you decide that love isn't a feeling, it's direction, when you stop asking, what do I get from this, and start asking, who am I becoming because of this? That's the day fatherhood begins. Every man has moments where he realizes he's been coasting, being a dad, doing the basics, but not truly leading. And in that moment, you have a choice. You can defend who you've been, or you can become who you were meant to be. Fathers are forged in those choices, the hard, quiet ones that no one else will ever see. The choice to get up early, to listen longer, to hold your ground when it would be easier to escape. That's the difference between a dad and a father. A dad reacts to what happens. A father responds with purpose. A dad loves when it's easy. A father loves when it's costly. And here's the truth every man needs to hear. You're not too late to make that shift. You can start today, one decision at a time, one moment at a time. The title father isn't about your past. It's about your presence. And the moment you decide to live with intention again, the transformation begins. The world has plenty of dads, but what it needs, what it's starving for, are fathers. Men who stand when it's easier to sit. Men who build when it's easier to scroll. Men who keep their word when everyone else shrugs it off. Because fathers don't disappear when it gets hard. They rise. They rise when their families are weary. They rise when culture says they're not needed. They rise when everything in them wants to rest. A father's strength doesn't come from pride. It comes from purpose. He doesn't chase recognition. He creates stability. That's what this movement is about. Not perfection, not pretending, but presence. Strong, steady, faithful presence. So this week, ask yourself, am I just being a dad, or am I being a father? Because one creates moments, the other creates generations. Every man listening has the power to start that shift today. No ceremony, no permission, just a choice. To step up, stand firm, and become what the world forgot to honor. That's the heartbeat of Fatherhood Reclaimed. We're not just talking about change, we're becoming it. So stand your ground, stay in the fight, and I'll see you in the forge.